In the early days of Convene, we used to say we're turning the Sunday stuff into Monday stuff for better lives and better businesses. We've been working for 20 years on how to best do that with executives and leaders. Shelette Stewart shows you how to do that in one book. She basically says, this is how to turn the Sunday stuff into Monday stuff in marketing and strategy and excellence in people, in finances. How to incorporate biblical principles into your daily practice. She's 20 years of leadership experience. She's worked at AT&T, Coca-Cola. She has examples after example after example of companies who've turned the Sunday stuff into Monday stuff. So join me and Dr. Shelette K. Stewart from Harvard University talking about revelations in business. I'm excited to be with Dr. Shelette Stewart again, a Christian author, an international speaker, a consultant. She's got over 20 years of leadership experience in strategic planning, in marketing, and business development with places like Coca-Cola and AT&T. She's a recent graduate of Harvard Business School and serves in a leadership role there at Harvard. She's the author of the award-winning book, Revelations in Business. And I would say this is not just a book that is full of platitudes that you sort of made up on a writing deadline. This is a book full of solid, hardcore biblical integration of things like strategy, marketing, people, excellence, the whole gamut. And I'm so pleased that you wrote this. The early days of Convene, Shelette, we used to say that Convene was about turning the Sunday stuff into Monday stuff for better lives and better businesses. And I think that your book actually does that. It turns the Sunday stuff into Monday stuff. And that's why we love so much having you hang around Convene as one of our speakers to groups crisscrossing the country, as one of the speakers at our conference. But there is this gap that we need to talk about a little bit. We just need to unpack a little more and talk about, why is there this gap between Sunday and Monday, and why have so many books been written but not as many people are doing it? What are some of your thoughts about this, and why did you write the book in the first place?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Greg, for having me again. It's always a pleasure and an honor to share with you and your audience. And I absolutely love Convene and enjoy serving as a speaker at the forums across the country and even at your summit. So thank you. It's always a delight to chat with you. And you raise a very interesting and an important question about why we have this gap. And that was really part of the reason that really inspired me to write Revelations in Business. I think part of the gap in terms of church on Sunday and work on Monday and never the two shall meet has to do with our socialization and our culture, particularly in the Western world and especially in the United States, where typically there's this barrier around bringing biblical principles into the workplace and into the marketplace and into the schools. And it's so unfortunate because we're seeing the remnants of taking the word of God out of those institutions now. And so that's what I love about Convene and your organization, is that you're encouraging Christian leaders to bring the word of God back into the private sector, back into the public sector where it does belong. So that was part of the inspiration for me. It's interesting. One of the books that inspired me to write Revelations in Business was Rick Warren's book, The Purpose-Driven Life. Mm-hmm. I love that book because it really challenged me to think about my purpose. But after reading it, Greg, I was grappling with, how do I apply these principles to the marketplace and to the workplace in a very practical, pragmatic way? What does this mean if I, as a Christian, am to submit to a leader who I don't respect?
Right.
How do I know if I'm in my position by divine assignment or by default? My own fault, and it's time to move on. So those were some of the challenges that I was facing at the time in my career. And what really ultimately inspired me to write Revelations in Business and the whole notion of connecting your business plan with God's purpose and plan for your life.